Hello good guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I will guide you through the process of building a dynamic web applications using AJAX in Django, especially focusing on a practical example, a blog app. AJAX allows us to create a seamless user experiences by enabling asynchronous communication between the client and server. It means without needing to reload the entire page, we can update our web page dynamically. Guys, you are a beginner or an experienced Django developer, these tutorials will equip you with the skills to enhance your web application with real-time updates and interactive features. So before diving into the practical exercise, let's understand what is AJAX. AJAX. Prior to the AJAX, web pages used to reload the web page to update their content from the server. The drawback is to this one, it was slow and it is required input from the user. The server had to reconstruct the web page entirely and resend all of the HTML, CSS, JS as well as the user's email when the users reloaded their inbox. So all major browsers started supporting XML HTTP request. This is also short called the XHR object from 2003, which resolved the issue by communicating with the server without the need of page reloaded. So data can be transformed between the browser and the server with the XML HTTP request API without having to reload the web page using AJAX. These AJAX requests are written and is executed with the JavaScript code. The code sends a request to a URL, and when it receives a response, a callback function is executed to handle the response. The request being asynchronous means the rest of your code continues to execute while the request is being processed and response is received in XML format. This technology is called AJAX, which stands for asynchronous JavaScript and XML. Why we should learn AJAX? Learning AJAX will help us no page reload on the each request, update a part of page not full page, send data to server in background, receive data from a server in background, better user experience, improves speed and performance. What is the jQuery AJAX? Before a jQuery AJAX, unfortunately, different browsers implement their own AJAX API differently. Developers need to instantiate XHR object, which is a XML HTTP request object, differently to support different browsers and would have to struggle to ensure that AJAX would work properly with all the browsers. What does it mean? Before AJAX, a jQuery AJAX, the developer has to define their own AJAX API differently for the different browsers. But thanks to the jQuery, fortunately jQuery provides AJAX method that abstract away painful browser differences. This method full features AJAX functionalities. The simple convenient method in jQuery are get, post, load, get a script, get JSON. What is the AJAX function? As I told you, fortunately, jQuery offers, AJAX method, which is a totally different than, the simple method. It is called the primary method in AJAX. It is considered as a good practice to use the AJAX method for over other method that we have seen in the previous slides. There are many options available for the AJAX method, which make it more powerful. Few are listed here. Async options of the AJAX method accepts true or false. Default is true. When you choose the false will make the request synchronous and will block execution of other code until response is received. Type is another option. This specifies the type of request which can be post or get. Default is get. URL is the option. This is a request URL. This is a mandatory option in the configuration object of AJAX. All other options are optional, means the options you are seeing here is optional other than URL. What is the use of the data option? The data to be sent to the server, it can be either string or object or serializations, serialized data from the form. Data type, this specifies the type of data you are expecting from the server. Error is a callback function to run when request gets an error. It means when you send the request to the URL and if the server send the errors, this error callback function run. Success, Callback function is to be run if the request is success. Complete. It triggers a callback function to run when the request is complete, regardless of success or failure. JSON P. JSON P. This specifies the callback name to send in a query string, making a JSON P request. The default is callback. So if you want to know more about the jQuery AJAX, you can visit this, this link. So let me take you through this link, and you can explore more and more about the jQuery AJAX. So guys, this jQuery AJAX, offers different kind of data types. So data type of jQuery AJAX function requires some instructions as to type of data you get back from AJAX request. There are several data types. Data type is text, HTML scripts, JSON, JSONP, and XML. There are also, jQuery AJAX and form. jQuery AJAX has some special capability when dealing with the form data. Serializations are used. jQuery serialization from forms input with two methods, .serialized and serialized array. The serialized functions method is used to serialize a form data into a query string. The input elements must have a name attributes to be, to get serialized. Serialized array, this method is similar to the serialized, except it produces an array of object instead of a string. So guys, you can see in this snippet code, you can see I'm using the data which is a ID of post form serialized, which to receive the data from the form. So guys, let's practice jQuery AJAX in Django. So before going for the best practice practice for the jQuery AJAX in Django, allow me to recap the blog app with passing model data into the HTML template file in Django project. So guys, this is my YouTube channel where you can find different video were uploaded. In this video, you can see I have also uploaded passing model data to the HTML template in Django. Also create an app in Django. So before going to applying the Django in the practice, if you're following my videos, you need to watch these two videos first, this and this, to resume this this video, because this video is based on these two these two videos. This is the one, another is one. So this is the latest one. So in the last video, I taught you how to pass the model data to the HTML file, where I was guiding you. I was reading the blog data from the model and passing to the HTML, which is this one. So you can see I'm reading the data from the model and displaying, sending to the HTML template file. This was a guy's post blog which we have created. We have learned how to create a model of the blog, and we have also make a migration, and you can see we are able to add the post here. So here today what we are going to do, we are going to add include a blog form on the HTML file, and on the submission of those blog, the system should automatically dynamically, we can say, without refreshing this button, the newly created block should be appended here or should be included here. So that is a main class of this that is a main part of this video, guys. So let's get started with the code. So allow me to open the code. You can see in the previous video I taught you how to create a blog app, and in the blog app how to create a model post. We have created already, we have done it. If you want to watch this video, you can go to my channel and you can watch using this video here and this one. So let's come back again here, and this one we have learned also. We have passed the we have created a function based view which is an index, and we had a one HTML file for to iterate those the data we are passing to the HTML here, the data we are passing, the blog post data from model we are passing to the HTML file here, we are iterating here. So guys, we are going to start. So to the main objective of this video, we are going to add a Django form here. On click of the on adding of the new blog post, that system should dynamically add those recent newly added blog to this list without refreshing this refresh button or reload this one. So let's get started by creating a form. So to save the time, I'm going to copy paste some snippet. I've already have kept ready just to save the time. So guys, I have included the form. You can see here. Save this one. Let me reload and show you. I have included the form. So what is the main task? We are going to include the block title and content and submit. On submit, newly created block should be displayed here dynamically. For that one, we are going to use the AJAX. So let's go there and we are going to. So we have added. So you can see this form having the, they were saying, in this serialize this method. When we use the serialize method, this method serializes a form data into query string. The input element must have a name attributes. So you can say this input having the name attributes, because this will help to retrieve the data from the form using the serialized. This also text area having the name attribute, you can see name attributes. So guys, we have done it. Now let's go ahead to improve this one. So let's go to write, to make this web page dynamic, we need to integrate this script code, this one. So I will include in my video description, you can copy paste. So now we are going to include the JavaScript code. In that JavaScript code, we are going to include AJAX method of jQuery. So for that purpose, we need to write a script tag, opening and closing the script. We are going to write a function here. So we are going to use, DOM manipulation idea here. So we are going to write here. First of all, we want to use, so we are going to tell, okay, when document is ready. So when is ready, what is the meaning of this document? Means your whole web, whole web page or HTML file is considered as a document. If you want to know what is the DOM manipulation, guys, you can visit my YouTube channel and you can follow this video, mastering DOM manipulation in JavaScript. You can visit this one and you can go through. So document.get ready, I'm saying, okay, once this HTML file web page is fully loaded, that is, I mean to say, then allow to run this function. This function I can call user defined, but I'm not going to define any user defined function. I'm using the anonymous function. So this is the inside function. I'm going to open, opening braces and closing braces. I'm going to say, okay, you can do like this style. I'm going to say, okay, once this web page is fully loaded, means this web page is fully loaded, this web page is fully loaded, you can, when you submit this button, when you type something, when you submit the button, what to do? So I'm going to write here, so dollar inside, I'm going to say how to submit, how to know that you are creating the submits, how would Java knows that you have clicked the submit button. So this form have some ID, identification name. So I'm using this one, post form. So I'm going to copy and I'm using this, okay, dollar single quotation hash, because it is ID name. This has, because of it has ID, that's why this post form is ID. And I say, when you click this post form submit button, you need to call some function. So I'm going to call the anonymous function. Here is a kind of object here we are passing. So later here, then in this one, you are going to, when you pass this one, let the system prevent default, we can prevent the form from submitting traditionally. So we are writing the e dot prevent default function. So this function will prevent the form from submitting traditionally. So that is what purpose we are doing. Thereafter, we need to, once the form is submitted, the data that you are sending to the URL as a URL request should be added to the model, and then system should automatically include in this list the newly created blog post here. So for that purpose, to make it dynamically, we need to include the AJAX. So here the role of the AJAX. So dollar, we need to write here $.AJAX. This AJAX is a method. So this is a method parenthesis. In this method, they have a different options, and this option works with the options and properties. So we can say key and value pair. We have a type. So let me take you for the reference. You can see, yeah, this is a function I'm talking about. This AJAX method. We are using the jQuery AJAX method, not a simple AJAX. They have a different kind of option. So we are saying type. So this specifies the type of request. So I'm going to use the post, because I mean to say, when I submit this form data, it should go with the post, because post does not append the data of the form at the URL. So that is the beauty of the post, why we are using the post. After doing the post, okay, fine, we are going to use the URL. This is a mandatory. You can miss the type, because type by default is get, guys. So you can miss, you don't mention miss, by default is get. Why? How do I know? It's written default is get. So better to use the first, because we are using the sending the form data. This URL, when you click the submit button, AJAX will send your URL request using this URL. So I will talk about this URL after a few minutes. Allow me to leave the blank. Let me go ahead. Okay. Okay, because we need to think about the Django URL pattern. Okay, so that's why URL. Now, what data you want to send to the server? So you can see here, this is also data. The data to be sent to the server, it can be string or object. In that one, we don't have a string object. We have a string on object, but it is in the form. So for that purpose, we need to use this function serialize, of the serializations. So we are going to use, that one. So let's go data. In this data is coming from where? This form. This data is coming from this form. Are you getting me? So this form is known by this identification. So I'm going to use this ID. Then here data, I'm going to write a dollar here. Then we are hash. Reason is hash because of ID name. Then we are saying okay, serialize function. So we have done, guys. So purpose of this one is to serialized the form data. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about more. We have a data, we have a success, we have a error, we have a complete, and we have also kind of, we can say kind of data. Okay, so we are using the data already. So we can say data type. This specifies the type of data you're expecting from the server. I'm expecting the JSON. I can write down here. So let me go here and you can say data type is kind of JSON. Okay, now, so when you're sending the data to this URL, sending the URL request using this URL, the server will, process the request in the background because I'm using the AJAX in background without disturbing the rest of the code is running, and they will send the response to this one. So when you're sending a response, the system of the AJAX have a callback function called the success. Callback function. Success is options we use. So on the success, we use the callback function. So you can use the user-defined function, guys. You can say success function in name, then you can define the function later. But I'm going to use the anonymous function, so I'm using the function key, then bracket, no name of the function, just function. Response is a parameter because server will send this response, and this response can be used, used inside. So I'm going to this function resume. So this once the successfully return, once I submit this data here, I mean to say when I submit the data here, when I click submit button, this submit button here, you can see submit button, AJAX will be also execute on this URL. The client will send, browser will send this request URL, server will send the response on the success. Then on the response, we are going to include this newly created app in the with this list, and the newly created app will be also included here in this admin. You can see this is admin interface, guys. Okay, so we are going to include it. So what we can say here, let us go there and manipulate here. So what we are going to do, we are going to append newly created post to existing post list or blog post or existing blog post, isn't it? So existing blog post is where? Our existing blog post is there, which one I'm retrieving the data from the model and displaying in this one. To retrieve this area using the DOM, so we are going to how JavaScript know that this is area you are going to append. So we can, this one can be put into the div, div, and close this div, and I will use the DOM manipulation, ideas here, div, and this div can have a name of ID. I can give some ID name, and IDs can be the post list, and then using the DOM manipulation concept, I can use it. So JavaScript also, the DOM also helps to add the HTML element dynamically. So I'm going to use this post, this ID post. So you can see this all post which I'm adding dynamically, I have put in the section called the division post list. So I'm going to copy, and after copying, we are going to say okay, you are going to append which one? This one. So use this one, dollar inside, go here, write the hash because of this is a list. Now use the append function. After using the append function, what are you going to append, guys? You are going to append when on submission of this one, you are going to append all those things. Means you are going to add the title, you are going to the paragraph for the content, you are going to add the paragraph for the date it was published, like this one. So you are going to append all this part, h1 paragraph, this one. For that purpose, we are going to here put it some customization. So I'm going to use the append. Then I want to append the div. Which div? I tell you, means division as a one division. So div, then opening h1. So we can go there, div, then open h1 again. Then you are going to start plus response. Why response? Because when you send the URL request using this one, this data will go to the this URL request will go to the server will do something, and they will send the response on the success. So this is success. So this call function will be called, will run. Then this response is bringing all those JSON data. So we are going to use this response dot what? It can have a title like this. It has a title, it has a content, etc. Post dated. So this is the field I'm going to use. So here response dot title. We have done it. So class, I'm using the class for concatenation. Then we are going to close H2 which H1 is open. Not H2, H1. So H1 I'm going to close it. So this should be a string close. Then we are going to open the new paragraph for the content. Okay, so I have done it here. Then open. Then we are going to class, then say response dot content. So content is done. After content is done, use the class concatenation. Then use the string. Then we use here close P. After closing the P, we can open another P for this one, because for this P for the now for the date, another date for the date, this P for the date. So we are going to open. Actually we are formatting, guys. Actually we are formatting for the, then open the. After opening the P, you can do it here also, like I can do here plus here. Let me enter it, guys, for the better readability. Then response dot, we have what kind of data? We have a post dated. So I can use this one, post dated, copy. Then I can do response post dated. Done. We are going to concatenate. We are going to string. We are saying, okay, let's close the last paragraph. Let's close the, the division. So guys, you can see I have done it. Then we can terminate the JavaScript code. So we have done it. Once you have, after appending, make sure once you fill the form here, then submit, the newly created this title and this content will be displayed in this one. And then this form should be reset. For that purpose, we are going to use their string hash. What is the form name? The form name is post form. So I'm going to use this post form. So going to use this one under there, post form. Okay. We are going to say post form, then use the 0 as the index here, and call the reset. The reset function we call it. It means it's going to reset the form. So we have done, guys, AJAX. We have said now. This is for the success. So success ends here, this callback function. Then we can use the errors. It's also better practice to use the errors. It also have a callback function. I can give the user defined, but I'm using the anonymous function here. So I'm going to say this function can bring the XML, HTML request response, and then here can send a status. It can send the errors. Okay, so this function also can have like this. Then we can print something on the console, or you can use it any other way. Errors, it can print the errors. Then in errors can have this error that you are bringing. This is a console, print in the error. This error function will help to print in the red color at this console. And this error is coming as a response on the failure of this URL request. This error coming, so this error I'm printing. Terminate it. So we have seen it here so far. So we can see here, we have seen here like we need to terminate. So let me see how it is nested. So this is AJAX function, guys. This is AJAX function, starts here, ends here. So we need to terminate. This is a what? Let me check. This is a for the submit the form button. If I'm not wrong, that is the one. So we need to terminate. And then this one for the DOM is ready on this one. Yeah. Save it. So far looks good. So our design is ready, but URL is still not ready. So I will add the URL soon. So guys, when I submit this data, like this data here, once you submit this data, this form submit will be submit using with the help of this URL, this will be request. So let us go to manage the URL of the blog app. So blog is here. Go to the URL of the blog. So when I go to URL, we need to set the URL path and map with the view function, based like a views. So here we need to create a view first. So I'm going to the view of the blog. This is a blog. I'm going to add the dynamically. So views. In this view, we are going to add a new function which will save those posts which you are going to create dynamic using this one. For that purpose, I'm going to create a new function based view. So guys, this is a function based view. I'm writing here def save post. So this save post I will map with URL. So consider there is some URL. This URL I'm going to paste that here URL. So it means when this URL executing, this very URL executing, it means this function is executing on this function. This system is checking because you are sending the URL request. You are sending the URL request from here. So this request is bringing something. So I'm checking if this request having the post method. How would know? So how would the system knows? Because of this post method. They will check, okay, this is a post method and index. Yes. Then check the title. Check the request dot post get title means system will get the title from here. They have attributes name of the form elements, this one name. So this will help them to know content. Once the content is ready, they will create this post. So what is this post? In the previous video, when I was teaching you what is the model, how to migrate, what is the blog, I have taught you what is the model. So this was created in the previous video post. So this is a guide, a model, So we are using that model. So using this model instance, so when we create a instance model, objects are manager. So this manager having the many functions like a all, filter, create, etc. So I'm creating a new post. I'm passing this parameter and I'm using here keyword parameter of the Python, you can see. And then once posts are created, it means it will be created in this one here. It will be created here in the model. I can use the admin interface to verify it's added or not. And then system will return the JSON response. In the JSON response, I'm sending this JSON jacket title. So this response will come back after adding to where? In this response will come. Sorry guys, where is that? This response will come here after successfully adding in this response. So this response will going to add the response.title, which is this one, response.content, and date is coming here also. So we are going to append all of these things after adding to from the model, then appending where? We are appending here. We are appending in this list. And after appending this list, you can see here, we are going to reset the form. We are going to reset this form will become blank. So guys, this is a flow of execution of this code. So let me make the URL now. So our view is ready now. So in this one, I'm going to help you. So I'm going to fix this issue. So we need to import some, from Django.http import response and this, sorry, JSON response, guys, not response, JSON response, and this is fix. So now we are going to map this with save post function with the URL of the blog base. So blog, app level. So blog is app URL. I'm here. I'm going to write a path and I can give any name of this URL. So I can give the save post here itself / comma views dot save post. This is a function. I have mapped it with this URL. And already in the previous video, or this is a blog URL. In the previous video, already have configured the blog URLs to the project URL is here. You can see just for verify. See, you can see here already there. So we are not going to check we are not going to disturb this one. Once it's done, it's available. So how it will run? It will run like this. We'll go to the blog. In the / blog, we are going to use the save post, then it will work. So fine guys, so system will do dynamically, automatically. We are not going to do anything. AJAX will take care because AJAX is the one is going to call this URL. So in this URL we are going to save this one. So this is a URL we are passing here. So this is a URL we are passing there. So okay, without using the URL pattern, a simple one, a standard one. So guys, we have done it, save it all this well. We have configured the views, we can see we have configured the URL and our HTML file looks, documents looks fine. Until unless we need to do anything else. So let me cross check. So I'm going to, run server. So let me see, server is running. Let me close this server, CLS. I'm going to run this server once again. Cross the finger guys and hope is all is well. So let me go there and refresh it once again. So I'm refreshing guys. After refreshing, allow me to write here something. So I'm writing jQuery, AJAX. AJAX is a primary method, which is used to, update the web page dynamically without reloading the web page. It is a asynchronous method. So let me copy guys this one. Sorry, let me copy guys for in case if I get error I can no need to type. So let it be, the typo is there, ignore it. So I'm going to add something. So I'm going to click the button, guys. I click the button. Let me see what happens. You can see the red color. This red color is because of I have put it, console error. So it's coming red color. It's easy to define. Post blog having same blah blah blah. So you can see, guys, they are saying forbidden. CASRF token missing. Blog save post. Blog save post. So what is the CRF? You can see CRF token is missing. Guys, we are using the, the form here, something we can say. We have a form here, HTML form here, and we are sending this form. So, so let me tell you what is the CSRF. So CRSF stand for cross-site request forgery. So CSRF is a type of attack where attackers trick a users into unknowingly performing action on a website that they are are authenticated to, but without their consent. Django helps prevent CSRF attack by including a CRF token with each form submission and checking it on the server side. So system is checking, and we have missed to include the CSRF token in the form. So we are going to include to fix this issue so far. If you want to exempt, you can also exempt. You can see. However, there might be a scenario where you want to exempt a particular view from the CSRF protection. This could be the case for views that are intended to be accessed by external services or API where the CSRF token is not easily provided. In such cases, you can use the add CSRF exempt decorator to explicitly mark the view as exempt from the CSRF protection. So we can, consider that this view, please exempt this view from the CSRF attack or decoration. So let me show you both exempted and not exempted. So let's go to the code and how to do. So guys, if you want to learn more about the CSRF, you can go there, Django official website. This is a link I can give you in the video description. And you can talk about the cross-site request forgery protections. Blah blah is a nice documentation, guys, to understand. You can see they're trying to exempt. I'm not going to use the exempt. I will use both, but first of all, without exempt. Okay. So fine, I'm going to go to the code and I'm going to say, please, they're saying forbidden CSR token is missing in the form. So I'm going to the form. Where is that? Here. So in the form, at the very first time, I can say CSRF token, and you can say, so when you do this one, already protection is done. Save it. I saved it. Go back to our blog, refresh it. Let me copy, guys, this one. Simply copy because I don't want to type. Refresh. Now I'm writing here jQuery, AJAX, and paste those data. Simply I copied this one and then add it. So guys, you can see the new one, newly created blog is dynamically added. I have not refreshed. Guys, but you can observe newly created ID. Sorry, the blogs are included, but you can say each blog post list has the some margin, borders, color, blah blah, but this one has not. Why? But when I refresh, it will come back, because when I refresh, the data is reading from the models. Here models, see, this is the one is added models. So they commit. But when I add dynamically, they are adding to the model. The system is creating a new post to the model, but dynamically adding into the existing list in the documentation, means this HTML document or the file. So what is the problem? It's the problem during the appending. So what we can do, you can see here, when we are appending whole this part. So here is the part, here we are appending div and all. So you can see we had used the the CSS, code to beautify this one, to beautify this border little bit simply. So we can use this class name of the, this block class name. So I'm going to copy, paste this one here, copy and paste it here. Actually, I would have done at the same time, but intentionally I have not done to show you something what is happening. So guys, I saved it. Hope all is well. I refresh simply. Now I'm going to add a new, new post. So I'm writing here AJAX URL request is a block title. I'm saying URL request, take the request to the Django server and return response. Okay, simply I'm going to add this one. Then observe here, I'm going to add. You can see this time they have added with the border color, isn't it, guys? So guys, this was by using this, by using this one, because this was the error, guys. What was that form? CSRF token, that's called the cross site CRF token, that's called the cross site request forgery. So guys, I'm going to use the exempt model. I can use this one, exempt. I want to say no, I don't want to use this one. I want to say to the system, if you don't want to use no protection, if you want to no, I don't want to use the protection. Allow me to do the without protection, exempt it. So how to do that? To implement this one, we can delete this one. So you can see I've deleted from the form. I can go to the view and I can say this view function. You can go and read more about this one, decoration and how to do that. So go there. You can say add exempt, sorry, CSRF. So when you do this one, this is giving error. It means you need to add some kind of, so this is error. So you need to add some library. So from, you can say Django dot decoration. From that website, you can come to know what is the package name .csrf Django decorations. Okay. From Django dot views, guys, because we're going to so views dot decorations decorators CSRF import. What import? CSRF exempt. Because I'm saying exempt it. Exempt, you know what is the meaning of exempt. If you don't know, you can go through this one, more about that and get it. Means try to say, in short, we are going to disable and save it. See me guys, in the HTML, from the form I have deleted. I say no, exempt this form model. Okay, from the protection. So I have done it, saved it. Let me go and reload it here. And this simply I'm reloading, guys, so it is there. So I'm going to add a simply testing CSRF protection. This is a nice mechanism in Django to protect our form submission data from external intruders. Simply then add it. Once you add it, see it is also added. Since testing CRP protection is done, whichever fit for your requirements, you want to exempt, you don't want to exempt. If you want to exempt the view function, you can do this way. If you don't want to exempt, you can use the token here. Okay, this one. So up to you guys, I have done it. So addition to that, I'd like to talk about more about the URL here. You can see in this URL, we are using the simple way to put the URL. But if you want to set the URL pattern, so we can do different way. How? We can use this URL pattern, this one. So we can do URL, then we can say here, the name of the URL, save post. Are going to work this one? We can go this one like this. So guys, this is a URL pattern. So what does it mean? So when we are going to do, we can use the name of, you can see here I have given the URL in the blog URL name, and then it is a mapping with the view function. If you want to use the URL pattern like this one, URL, this one, you need to specify the name of the URL here. So you can use another attribute called the name equal to whatever name you want to give it. I can give the same name just to avoid the mistakes. I can give the same name, or you can give whatever name you want to give here and use the same name here. Use this same name. When you're using the URL pattern, you need to specify this name attributes, guys, of this path function is compulsory. And then use this function, this name at the here URL, the curly braces percentage URL, then you can put the single quotation and double quotation. You can give this name of the URL, save it. That is the L. It is called the URL, pattern. You can do this one, and then you can let me check the server is running or not. Server is running. Go back here, refresh it. I'm here. I'm writing here testing URL pattern like a lorem ipsum, ipsum blah 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 blah. Add it. Let me check testing URL pattern lorem ipsum blah blah blah, and it has come, guys. You can see, guys, here. So this is what we have done, guys. This is what we have done so far, and that's it. If there is things you can do more, you can explore more, and let me know using the comment box. I will be happy to answer your questions, guys. So I don't think so I need to talk more here, and if you have still have some confusion, you can rewind the video, you can pause, you can try to see. Thank you. So see you in the next video, guys. Thank you so much. Bye bye, take care, may God bless you.